welcome to another episode of That Money Lady with me, Audrey, your friendly money lady. Today, I want to talk about, the new year, the whole year that we just had, 2024. It's December 31st of the taping of this recording or episode, words. And it's as entrepreneurs and as just humans in this world, more than likely you have a social media feed. And that social media feed is full of all of just the highlights and the most best parts of the year. And while I do want to celebrate those because that's really important to see what went right and to hold space for that and celebrate it. And know that this was a very challenging year for a lot of people. And I'm in quite a few different circles, and the census is clear that it was just a very challenging year. And it wasn't what everyone planned it out to be. It took a lot of turns, and most people had to take step backs more than they took step forwards. And so if that's you, you're not a failure. It's absolutely okay. Whatever happened, as long as you learned from it and grew, that's what matters. What matters is the realignment and stepping back into your power to take that best next step. Because the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you are. I said that you are perfect exactly how you are, but it's just that's the evolution of humans. And I love that. And I love that for you because you are that heart-centered entrepreneur who's trailblazing your way through systems that are just set up for you to fail. Like, quite frankly, especially if you're in the United States, all of our systems are set up for you to absolutely fail. Hands down, just facts. Give me a list of systems that are here to actually set you up for success. I'll wait. But that aside, that means you get to be a part of the solution, which is why you're here. You're a trailblazer. You're here to be part of the solution, and you're here to help people and actually help them, which is a novel concept, not something that's taught everywhere or shown or displayed. And it's just the very real part of what I think we're shifting into and what I'm seeing. And I love it. And I am here for it because the more we connect to people, planet, and community, that's what's important. That's what's important. Somehow we got into this weird paradigm where the only thing that matters is wealth, greed, and power. Like, for that. As the money lady, I am not here for that because that's absurd and just not a society I want to live in as I'm currently living in it. But that aside, we are another thing that I've seen with entrepreneurs, and the whole point of me making all this, despite my randomness, is that when entrepreneurs come to me, more often than not, it's a fear thing of showing me what the numbers are saying. And that's why it took them so long to reach out to somebody to begin with, because they've put so much weight onto what the numbers are saying and what they mean about them to get the help that they deserve. And so let me just be the first to tell you, I do not care what your numbers are saying. I know that sounds funny and probably not something I quote unquote should say, but I don't. I really just don't. Your numbers do not mean a single thing about you or what you've done or what you've accomplished or where you want to go. There are going to be, like, you could have set out for 2020 and you were like, this is the year I'm going to hit 1 million, and you didn't. And then you have all of that shame, that guilt, that pressure of what that means about you as a leader and as an entrepreneur and your capabilities. And I'm here to tell you it's not. It's when you get the help you need, that's when you're able to get to that next step. And there are absolutely seasons of your journey that you will be in that dip. You can plan as much as you want. You can be as like extravagant as you'd like. I was like, 2024, all the abundance. I did not receive all the abundance, y'all. I did not. On it. Like, and that's okay. It's just part of this human experience is to take that next step. And not all seasons are going to be full of those blooming flowers that are everywhere and just embracing you with all of the beauty that is abundance. Sometimes you need to take a step back to realign and take that best next step forward. And any heart centered entrepreneur who's here to talk about your finances does not care what your numbers are saying. We're not here to hold that, or let's just say this, I am not here to continue or add to the weight of the feelings you have about what your numbers are saying. I'm here to celebrate you endlessly when things are going well and you do something amazing. And I'm here to be with you when things are hard and you're wading through something that you don't feel like you can ever get out of. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I do. So that means that I get to be objective about what your numbers are saying. And this is why my clients love and respect me so much, is because I don't, I hold space for all of you, and I do not play into and add to the weight of what the numbers are saying. I do absolutely inform you about what the laws are and what your potential best next step could or should be. I don't want to say should, could be, and all the options as I see it, and will happily reach out to either your lawyer or your tax professional or whoever your person is to ask about the legal pieces to make sure you're in compliance, because tax compliance is very important to me. And I really hope it is for you too, because that's what keeps you out of trouble and your business on float. Actually brings me to another fun story. It was a couple days ago. I was at a friend's. He just bought a new house, and it's his birthday, and it's a beautiful house. And one of the friends came by, and he was like, "Oh, yep, I'm now in the corporate world, and and he was like I get a break, like a forced break. Like I can't even sign a paper to get out of my break. Like I have to take a break, and I have to like step out." And I just look at him like, that's the law. Because here in Oregon, let me specify, this is an Oregon employment requirement. If you work, it's a whole table. There are many different rules and laws and regulations. And small businesses as a whole don't tend to abide by all of the rules. And he was just like so blown away. He's like, I get a break. Like he couldn't, it was, it's, I'm stuttering and stumbling just to try and express to you the look on his face and how excited it was. Just like that, a little boy opening a present, being like, I get to take a break. It was just so endearing because that's it's really hard. And I don't want to make it sound like small businesses are doing a bad job, because they're not. They're genuinely putting their best foot forward. And that's really hard with the madness that is our laws. It is really challenging to abide by all the laws and get to that next step of entrepreneurship. It's it's that double-edged sword of no one wants to be corporate. Every Most entrepreneurs left corporate or never wanted to go into corporate because of the lack of just decency more often than not, and they just can't handle that. They can't handle that rigidity of this is the policy and that is just where I'm going. I'm going to live and die by this policy and not care about humans. It tends to be the corporate route, which makes sense. The larger you get, the harder it is to see the human element. And I'm of the opinion that's a choice, because there are absolutely things that large conglomerates can do to actually put the people still first. And that's just a rabbit hole for another time. That being said, again, he was just, yep and Debbie, you want to be a part of this recording? Well, come in. No? Okay. If you can hear my cat, she has things to say. um, but yes, it's just I my kitty cat got me. Got a dog. So maybe that's just where I'll end. So as a recap, we are here to wherever you're at, yes, please do reflect on the new year or the prior year. What went right? What went wrong? How can you step forward and be the most powerful part of yourself? That is, don't get me wrong, it's daunting to go into that. And if it's not a routine you're used to, it's challenging. So I don't want to say, like, oh, just do this and it's fine. That's not the case for a lot of people, in my experience, to be able to just be like, okay, let's just sit down and do this. It, it's not. It's hard, and it's also hard to be it. How do I say this? When you do start to do that, you get a perspective that you might surprise you. That might surprise you. There we go. That's the words. Uh, every day I'm getting better at words. That's going to be my 2025 phrase. Every day I get better with words. Ugh. So you're perfect wherever you're at. Your numbers don't mean anything about you, your dreams, your hopes, your visions, your anything. They're just a reflection of reality. And that's not good or bad. That just is. And you get to take a better next step. And that's the beauty. So, as you possibly might be seeing a lot of really great things. And if it was a really bad year, know that that's okay too. I saw, yeah, I'll go to that. There are some times when those really exciting posts that people are like, this is what I'm going through, this is what all of my really great things were, and you look at it and it just like kind of tugs at your heart a little bit. You're like, but I want that. I'm that way with anyone who has a house. Actually, no, to be fair, I just saw a post from somebody who got married, and that always gets me too because I didn't get my wedding because COVID. So, fun fact, had to cancel my wedding a week before because it was March 20th, 2020, and the world decided to shut down, rightfully so. And so I never got a wedding, but I'm grateful because in July, my husband's grandma, the woman who raised him, put on a reception for us because we never got anything like that. And so it was really beautiful. And she recently passed. So it's extra beautiful. And that's what I got for you. Know that it was a very challenging year for a lot of people. And it's absolutely okay to celebrate the highs and to hold whatever space you need for the lows because 2025 will be a, an interesting year. And I think it'll be a positive year as a whole, but there's a lot of learning we still need to do. And if you need help with your numbers, I am here for you. So, if you need to start with tracking, I have a free tracker that is easy to use. You can seamlessly get in there and start tracking and knowing what your numbers are saying. It all starts with tracking. That is step one. It is the hardest for entrepreneurs to get to in a way that actually sets them up for success. Yes, keeping your bank statements are important. Yes, keeping your receipts are important. Yes, you need another form of tracking besides those two. Absolutely. Without a question or a doubt, you need something else. Those two are very, very important. Please do keep both of those. And you need another form of tracking to make sure that all the numbers are where you want it to go, what's going on, making double checking. And then you reconcile, which has been like, okay, here's my receipt, here's my bank statement, here's my tracker. What am I missing? What's going on? Because that's also like if you're writing checks, your check will show up on your tracker because that's money going out that you need to be responsible for, but it's not reflective on your bank statement. And so that's why you have both. Part of why. There are many reasons why, but that is an example of why it's important to have both. So that's what I got for you, my friend. Yet another strange one for the books, but what am I if not weird? I embrace the weird. Please embrace your weird a little more. Like, we need more examples of not just corporate stuffiness, for lack of a better word. As entrepreneurs, so many, I hear it time and time and time and time again, that entrepreneurs feel like they're failures because they're just being themselves and not being the straight laced, uptight, perfection idea of perfection. Because for some reason in our society, we're like, oh, you're a business owner. Oh, yep. Now you need to be perfect. Or you need to project the illusion that you know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. Like, no, don't get me wrong. Yes, you need to do that in the area that you claim like you're going into business for. And there's always room to improve on that. Don't give me like, I'm not saying you're an expert at the end and you cannot grow and be better at all, but say what you can do. Don't overpromise and pretend like you can do something you can't, and be more human. The more you're human, the more you show the myriad of what being an entrepreneur is. It's a game changer, and it makes people feel less alone, because all we are seeing are people that are claiming that they have everything together, and then you look behind the scenes and that's just not reality. So it's this fake false, it's just like social media, like that false highlight of just nothing but your good stuff, and it doesn't show any of the back end that could be falling apart. Build a solid foundation. Don't allow other people to influence you in a way that diminishes who you are or what you're here to bring. I am very grateful that I am surrounded by a lot of incredible people that guide me in loving ways that don't necessarily put me in a box. There are things that we have to do. Like, I'm an accountant. You have to follow the law. There's the box. There's the box that I put you in, I guess I should say. And for every single person, there's going to be that, or entrepreneur, there's going to be that you need to be in this form of a kind of a box. Yes, because there are standards, and it's okay if you push what that standard is in ways that you are going at with your eyes fully wide open, with respect and with integrity. Because we're all in this together. So let's be all in this together and take a step of authenticity and just being a decent human being. Can we do that? Can that be our 2025? Be a decent human being. Just be a decent human being. The end. Like, let's have a neon light. Be a decent human being. Be a decent human being. The end. That's why I'm so grateful for the incredible entrepreneurs that come into my world, because they're just all about that, and just all about being their unique self in a way that's just so beautiful. I don't know how to express it. It's just so incredible, the things I'm seeing and witnessing and being a part of. And I love it. I love it. Okay, that is, that's what I have for y'all today. In all of its glory. Okay, end of the year madness. I got some wild news this morning, so I'm a little bit off. So for that, I do apologize. I'm not in a position to really share because there's a lot going on, and it is throwing me through a loop. Lots of loops, and hopefully the loops are closed in 2024, so we can have an incredible 2025 of being a decent human being. Let your freak flag fly, y'all. Y'all know I do. Bye, guys.